I'm Mario. I run Diamond in the Rough clothing company. It is park themed apparel with, I like to say it's a park themed apparel with a fun twist, or, a twist that is easy to recognize because of what people are saying in the cultural zeitgeist right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Perfect. So I think it's always great if we can lay the foundation and learn a little bit about you. And I know Disney's probably a huge part of your life, but if you put that to the side, kind of what is your background and what is your life outside of Disney?
Okay, so I was born and raised in Southern California. I lived here in Los Angeles my whole life. I went to school close to downtown LA, and then I went to San Francisco for college. And then that's where I learned to grow my voice, how to tell a joke. I learned a lot being the president of a gay fraternity, Delta Lambda Phi, and really understood the nuances of comedy through drag queens, trans queens, and the LGBT community up there. Disney was always a part of my life because I had a lot of friends that were cast members that still are. So whenever I came to visit, because I was a poor college student, we just got signed in and hung out at the parks, and then we'd have to eat at Denny's outside because we were poor. And some friends left, and then I got my pass, and then I learned about Disney bounding, and then I learned about run Disney because I dated somebody who was do the Tinkerbell race, and I was like, okay, because I had nothing better going on, and I was I turned 25 at the time, and I got really fat, so I was like, okay, I need to do something to exercise. So if anyone's listening and you are in your early 20s, that's cute, but you are going to hit second puberty so hard, so find a physical activity. And then, I do stand-up comedy sometimes. I, originally went to school and started dancing. And then I intended to come down to, Los Angeles to take the dance world by storm. But the storm got downgraded to just, a light drizzle.
Oh, my gosh. I love that. That's such a fun story. And I think that is so, I guess, common for a lot of people to go to college to kind of, embrace who you are and find your voice. And I think that's probably something that's definitely helped you as you've started this new business, for sure.
Yeah, it's the reason I went to college was I joked. I was I want to be close to home, but I want to be far enough away that my parents and family can't visit without giving me warning, just in case. And then it became a thing where I really ended up picking a cool place to go because San Francisco is this huge melting pot where you can see so many different things every weekend, and they just really are super multicultural. So I was really blessed to have gone up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So tell us more about your Disney story.
My Disney story started a month after I was born. So I was born July 3rd, and then my family went to Disneyland August 3rd because they already had the trip planned. So they just kind of flung me over their shoulder, and I went. And then I visited every time someone was visiting from out of the country. So if family was visiting from Australia, we would go to Disneyland because they wanted to go there, and we'd hit up all the theme parks. And then the same thing happened every summer. I'd try to go on my birthday, and as I went to college, several of my friends that I went to high school with became cast members. So I would come down to visit, and we'd get signed in for a day or two, and then we'd get to see the parks. And I learned a lot about the back parts of the park and the stories through them because of what they were doing. So then I became obsessed, and then I became really Run Disney obsessed because my first marathon was Tinkerbell, and I've run every single Run Disney race at least once. So I've done all of them that still exist now. So all the East Coast ones and the West Coast ones when they existed.
Man, I know we're super upset that they no longer have Run Disney in California, but I bet it hits you even harder than us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so let down. I was a legacy, meaning I didn't miss a single year of the Avengers race or of Star Wars. I'd done all of them, and then they closed it down, and I was like, well, now what am I going to do? Because they had the Infinity Gauntlet Challenge where you were supposed to run the 10K and the half marathon, and you're supposed to collect all the stones of the gauntlet, and they stopped after 3, and I was like, well, great, no one's collection's complete, so that's no fun. What am I going to do now?
So out of all those races, since you've done so many, which one is your favorite?
My favorite will always be the first one, Tinkerbell, because I didn't know what to expect and no one really told me. So I ran it, and that's where my addiction to running really took off. And it was a really fun race that I feel like I wish they could bring back, or one of the Disney races, because I didn't realize how people like took costumes so seriously and taking photos with the characters. I was just in it because I wanted to. I mean, I just wanted to beat my ex-boyfriend. He was in the same corral as me, and I was like, you got me into running, and I need to beat your time by like 20 minutes if I can.